Yeah? Chapter 19. Sophie returned from the toilet safely. Everything okay, Sophie? Come here and rest your butt. Take a seat and rest your brains, said Tommy frivolously. And did you wash your hands? Did you pull the chain, dear? Quipped in Louise, smiling at her. Sophie sat down and glanced at her two friends nonchalantly. Then she looked forward with a grieved look on her face. Without replying, she sat in silence, staring into space, solemn. Sophie, are you okay? Demanded Louise. Soph, what's wrong? Tommy said, concerned. Sophie, speak to us. Please. Are you okay? Echoed Louise. Is there something wrong? They both interjected. Sophie bowed her head and a wry smile appeared on her face, then a grin. Got ya! Let's go fishing. Hooked and reeled in. Landed. They looked at each other. They knew it had been had. You cow, sneered Tommy. You said it, confirmed Louise. And almost immediately the three of them were gently rocking side to side and humming. Da 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 da. Always look on the bright side of life. Da 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 da. The hands automatically went up to the side of their heads, with index fingers pointing upwards, moving up and down in unison. They'd never forgotten. The rest of the journey was quite uneventful. They sat silently, musing over their own intimate thoughts. The silence was broken. Bing bong! This is your captain speaking. We will be presenting. We will be presently preparing for our descent into Faro Airport. As you can see, it is a clear, beautiful sunny day with not a cloud in the sky. It is approximately 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The long-term weather forecast is it's going to get hotter. So I would suggest that you take care, sure you don't burn, and cover up in the midday sun. Cover up? What about my thong? Groaned Sophie. Cover up? Not likely, said Louise. Yep, said Tommy. It sounds better and better to me. Bring on the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew and myself, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for flying with us and wish you a pleasant stay. Tommy, Sophie and Louise buckled themselves in, as did the rest of the passengers, and the captain brought the aircraft in on a very smooth landing. As they stood in the doorway of the plane, ready to disembark, they skipped down the stairs and the heat hit them. Wow, you said it. And it's early. It will get hotter. They walked the short distance across the tarmac and went into arrivals through the passport control, where they queued patiently. Hola, bom dias, said Sophie to the passport controller. Hola, señorita, ¿cómo está? Replied the controller with a smile on his face. Sí, bien obrigado, replied Sophie. Ferres? Inquired the official. Sí, 2 semanas, com dos amigos, answered Sophie. Fala Portuguese? Un pouco, Sophie said with a smile and a nod in her head gracefully. The passport controller handed Sophie her passport back and nodded his head respectfully. Obrigado, señorita, bon ferias. Next up was Louise. She passed her passport to the controller and stood there with a smile on her face. He looked at her passport photo, then at her. Bom dia, señorita Ferias. Oh yes, said Louise. 2 weeks with my friends. She pointed towards Sophie and back over her shoulder at Tommy. Okay. He passed her passport back to her and gestured her through. Tommy waited until the controller beckoned him forward. Tommy handed him his passport through the counter. The controller looked at his picture, then at Tommy. Then at the picture, then at Tommy again. Tommy looked a little apprehensive, then a wry smile spread across the park controller's face. Con ferias, amigo. Con dias amigos, señoritas, muito bonito. Tommy looked at him blankly. The controller glanced toward the girls who were waiting for him. Oh yes, he nodded his head, and once more the controller gestured him through. The 3 friends walked through the baggage claim. On the screen they saw their flight number indicating conveyor belt 3. So what was all that about? Inquired Louise. Yeah, spill the beans, bilingual girl, chuckled Tommy. We were just being polite, you know. Hello, how are you? Fine, thank you. Holidays, yes. 2 weeks with my 2 friends. He said that I spoke Portuguese. I said a little. He said, thank you, have a nice holiday. He also said that we 2 girls were very beautiful. Louise said, oh. Did you say he said we were very beautiful? Well, there we are, a man with taste. And by the way, you have A-level literature and are fluent in the language. That's for sure. You have A-level in every language. That is, except for Cockney, said Tommy, clapping his hands together. Don't you Adam and Eve it. Our saucepan lid, replied Soapy in rhyming slang. Me old fella done a bit of porridge with a geezer from the Bow Bells. Tommy started to laugh. Don't believe it? Our kid, your dad did a stretch of prison with a man in the East End of London. That is what one indicated, wasn't it? Well, no. Wasn't it? Yes, retorted Sophie in an exaggerated posh voice. Come along, Del Boy and Rodney, said Louise, although I'm not totally sure who's who. Here are our bags. You know who that makes you, Louise, whispered Tommy to Sophie. Who? Uncle Albert, sang out Tommy, and the 3 of them went to a chorus of You can keep the Algarve, I'd rather be in Yarmouth with all the family. I don't think so. Chicken piri piri, Grappa Verde, and 14 days of sun. They grabbed their cases, threw them on their trolleys, and headed out of the airport, continuing with their ditty. I don't think so. You keep the Algarve, I'd rather be in Yarmouth with all the family. I don't think so. Give us chicken piri piri, Grappa Verde, and 14 days of sun. Taxi, Casadulas, Cavuero, por favor. An hour later they pulled up outside their villa. They had given the driver directions once they reached the town centre. After all, they'd spent many a good holiday based in this villa, with its panoramic views overlooking the sea. It was a detached villa in its own gardens of climbing bougainvillea, flower beds and shrubs, with an array of beautiful colours, and its 6-foot walls separated them from villas upon either side, giving them supreme idyllic privacy. The welcome pack, as always, was waiting for them. They picked their rooms, or this had already been decided. Louise and Sophie went through the door on the left-hand side of the living room, and they came into a passageway. There were 2 bedrooms adjacent to each other and 2 double beds at each end of the corridor. The girls picked a room each. Tommy entered the door on the right side of the living room. The layout was identical to the other side. Again, there were 2 adjacent bathrooms and 2 bedrooms, 1 double and one twin, each end of the corridor, and Tommy picked the double bedroom overlooking the swimming pool. They unpacked their bags quickly, put on their shorts and t-shirts, and took a leisurely stroll down to town. They picked up some food and bits and pieces, had a quick lunch and headed back to the villa. After depositing their goodies into the fridge and cupboard, the girls took off their shorts and t-shirts. They already had their bikinis on underneath. Tommy slipped off his t-shirt and the three of them lay around the pool in their sun loungers, soaking up the sun for the rest of the day. The girls had decided not to go topless on the first day. That evening they proceeded to go out for a pleasant meal and a few drinks at a restaurant on the beach at Praia da Rocha.